Welcome to Highfield Think Tank TV, Kasoma Farouk of Uganda. We are in with our scenario item in history and political education. For facilitation, you can call us on that number. Our scenario item goes: due to continued indirect foreign influence over African countries by superpowers since independence, African leaders have embraced regional integration as a way of fighting this situation, neocolonialism. In 1999, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania revived the operation of the East African Community that had collapsed in 1977. Since its re-establishment, however, the activities of the East African Community have remained unknown to many people, who even think it has failed. To the extent it has even failed to fight neocolonialism. To some others, the organization has tried to meet some of its aims and objectives, though it is challenged with fighting neocolonialism. The above group of people have decided to lead a sensitization program to educate others about the activities or achievements of the East African Community in order to change people's attitudes towards the organization, and also to find out from the masses how neocolonialism can be brought to an end. You have been asked to be part of the sensitization team. Task: prepare information you will use to educate the above people in regard to the achievements of the organization. That is our scenario item. So we are going to consider, in answering the responses, we are going to consider HK, HT, and HA. The problem identified in the scenario is the lack of knowledge by many people don't know the benefits of the East African Community and think it is a failed organization. Regional integration is the coming together of neighboring countries to cooperate economically, politically, and socially. The East African Community was formed in 1967 and revived in 1999. Therefore, to change people's attitude that the East African Community is a failed organization, the following explain what the East African Community has achieved since its re-establishment in 1999. The East African Community has promoted movement of people and labor. East Africans can now travel, work, and live in any partner state without a passport. A Ugandan teacher working in Kenya or Tanzania can benefit from the common passport. Therefore, regional integration is being realized. The East African Community has expanded trade among partner states. Goods and services move more easily across borders, increasing business. Ugandan maize sold in southern Sudan and Kenyan milk in Uganda, and show increased the intra-regional trade. Hence, economic growth and jobs are created. The East African Community has established East African Custom Union. Goods move without high taxes at borders, reducing prices. A Kenyan lorry carrying sugar to Uganda pays less tax more than before the Custom Union. Consequently, consumers access cheaper goods. The East African Community has constructed joint infrastructure projects. The East African Community has built roads, railways, and oil pipelines connecting countries. The Mombasa-Kampala Railway and Arusha-Namanga Road are joint projects. The transport costs have reduced and trade increased. The East African Community has formed the East African Legislative Assembly that makes regional laws. East African Legislative Assembly passes laws that govern all partner states equally. The East African Custom Management Act regulates how goods are cleared across the borders. Therefore, there is a uniform legal framework. The East African Community has established the East African Court of Justice that settles disputes. Citizens and businesses can take complaints against partner states to the court. A Tanzanian businesswoman who won a case against Uganda shows the court works. Hence, justice is available at regional level. The East African Community has promoted joint military and security cooperation. East African Community countries conduct joint military exercises and share intelligence to fight terrorism. The East African Community Joint Security Committee coordinates operations against Al-Shabaab. Consequently, regional peace and stability has improved. The East African Community has harmonized education and curricula. East Africans now use similar education standards, making it easier for students to transfer the East African Community syllabus for history for history and other subjects is used in all partner states. Therefore, students move freely between universities. The East African Community has introduced a single tourist visa. Tourists can visit Uganda, Kenya, and Rwanda with one visa, increasing tourism. A visa seeing gorillas in Uganda, then going to Masai Mara in Kenya, uses one visa. Hence, tourism revenue has increased for all states. The East African Community has established East African Monetary Institute. This prepares partner states for a single currency in the future. The institute monitors economic policies to ensure convergence before the East African shilling is launched. Thus, the future economic integration is being planned. In conclusion, the East African Community has been a blessing to its member states, politically, socially, and economically. Therefore, EAC is not a failed organization. You can still follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook for more.